We'll call the meeting to order. Roll call,
Travis?
Ray.
Nikki.
Christine Wells. Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody else wanna sing My Country? Every time.
Because we went to school like that, right?
I'd say yes, but it's scare everybody if I started singing.
Me too. Alright.
You don't hear me sing.
Any conflicts of interest to declare at this
I
time?
don't believe so.
I don't think so.
Alright, approval of the November 3rd, 2025 agenda.
So moved?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the October 6th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the October 6th meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Alright, committee reports, finance officer.
Okay, so, as of today, I'm gonna go over the October and November numbers first, and then I do have, the other information as well. For October disbursements, I didn't have, the statement didn't get finalized until today, so I can't close October. But, I thought I put a total on here, but there's a list of all the October disbursements setting up here for everyone to read, if they would like to see them. And then for November disbursements, as of right now, we're at $9,055.55. With the bank statements, as of the end of, September, we had in our main checking account, we have a, $147,346.60. I did also in the cash balances, for the different areas here as well. So in the general fund, we're at, as of end of September, we're at $118,306. Water fund, $25,119.83. Water improvement fund, $2,500. Water meter fund, $30,970. Water surcharge, $31,908. Water deposit fund, $500. And the community center, as of right now, we have $1,811.58. I will finish October this week, to get the final numbers from there. Any questions on that? And then if not, I have a couple other things.
What's the balance for the park?
You're in the general fund.
Yeah,
and
I was
that
gonna say.
energy.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
what was budgeted for the park,
It's 4,000.
Yeah, it was like 4,000 I have here.
yeah, and it looks like right now you spent about $360. It looks like for maybe basic labor, materials, things like that.
Okay.
So. And we haven't reconciled the revenues and expenditures for the year to see if there's, what accounts need to be adjusted, what we have overspent. We haven't had that opportunity to do that yet.
Yeah, I just kinda got all the sheets together, so I'm gonna work on that this week and talk with Christine, but we'll get that all taken care of. Just as of today and what we have in the budget, that's where we're at. Two other things I have. One, we are now required to start paying back our quarterly payments for our water, loan. So what I would like to do, if everyone is okay, they do have where they can automatically debit our checking account. And I just wanna make sure everyone is okay if we do it that way versus sending a check each quarter. So if,
I think that's fine.
so I will get that completed and taken care of. The first payment is due November 15th.
And that's in the resolution to pay back that surcharge, so you don't,
Yes.
we don't need board approval for that.
No.
It's
Right.
in
That's the
resolution
inappropriate,
already.
yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just get this filled out, but we will be doing an ACH. I just wanna make sure everyone is aware of that. And the first payment is scheduled to come out November 15th.
And how much is it?
It's like 4,000. Nick, I know if I did. It's like $4,317.
And that'll come out of which fund?
That is coming out of the, water principal fund, I believe, Christine, correct me if I'm wrong. Principal payment, cause it's a water loan,
It will come out of the water surcharge fund.
water surcharge, thank you,
Okay.
cause that was one of the questions I was gonna ask you.
Okay, so
Yes.
there was an ACH from US Bank for a quarterly payment of drinking water loan for $2387.13
Are you looking in November?
for November. And if you take that payment and multiply it by 4 times 30 years, that equals the amount of the loan that we took out.
Hmm.
So I
Cause
don't know
we
where
didn't
the
authorize that, I'm
4,000.
gonna have to double check that, that was just.
We don't
something
have to, it was authorized in the resolution
Oh,
that was
For the
signed
ACH?
2022, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
We didn't have to authorize that.
okay. Well,
It
because
was then done at that time is what I mean.
okay, then I wanna double check on this note from him then, because, you're right, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, let me give them a call.
Yeah, because our loan amount was $286,000 at 0% interest.
Yep.
And so that quarterly payment, 130 years equals $285 and some change.
Okay,
So,
well, let me ask what we have again, if I brought it with me, sorry, but, cause there was a letter with it, let me just make sure. So I will double check on that before I authorize anything out of there. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up, so Christine, I will definitely check on that tomorrow. The other thing I wanted to bring up is we did get the last time, the 2026 liquor licenses for the on sale and off sale.
those are on the agenda, so we'll talk about those.
Perfect, okay, I didn't know if we got there yet, okay. So those were my main things today, we will turn in the water report, Todd just got it to me, so I will get that turned in. And then the only other thing, is, we are expecting our first reimbursement back from the state revolving fund loan, and then Christine, I have 2 more here that I need you to sign so I can send over.
Okay, I just signed them
Oh, did you?
and sent them
Oh,
on the
okay.
email
Okay,
electronically, yeah.
okay, send that on me. They're a step ahead of me, I brought them just in case. Okay, that's what I have for now, unless anybody has questions.
I do, I have questions.
Okay.
On the November,
Yep.
disbursements journal, which would be, the checks that we sign here.
Yes, which are already,
And it will also be combined, kind of October, November. It's
the
kind of
October
a
we already
dual-
signed last month, yes.
Yeah, but it's a dual month, so. So a couple things that are, I don't see on either one of them, are the IRS payroll taxes.
So they should be on the other one, because I just pulled those and I actually have the forms to sign. Department of Revenue?
That is.
Oh, no,
South
sorry,
Dakota.
those are right, okay, so, let me make a note of that.
And then,
Those are the other taxes, so those are all paid.
and then the late filing fee that we pay to Department of Labor.
Yes. Those are the three years that we paid?
No, Department of Labor, so
$5?
Department of Labor is the one that you pay, or that you just have to report what our salaries are every quarter.
Yep.
So there was a late fee for $25.
Yes, and that was paid.
October. And then we had,
And I sent the $9.90 in for this last one, cause I couldn't get it online, remember, so we talked about that.
and then the sales tax for, sanitation.
Yeah, the sales tax for sanitation did not get done October, that it got done, and it is actually in here to sign today, I just did not get the disbursement sheet updated, but it is right here to sign. And that is in,
Will that have a late fee with it?
yeah, $5.
Yeah, and that's why I keep asking about the IRS taxes, cause those late fees and penalties aren't cheap.
Yep.
On a positive note, the yearly payments that were due to the Department of Labor for 2016, 17, and 18, they did waive the interest and penalties, so we, did not have to pay over $2,200 in late fees and penalties.
Yep.
So, again, the fact that I got back to her the very next day and said the board discussed it, we're comfortable using these numbers. She said, if you get those paid by the 20th, we will waive the penalties and interest amounts, so.
Yeah, and we paid them all on the 14th of October, and you'll see those on the disbursement. And I got a
Here?
form in here for those. Yeah, October 14th,
At
on the very back where it
last
says
three
ECH.
DOR payments.
Gotcha.
Alright, is that it? Everything?
Yes, other than, well, with disbursements, we're gonna be signing time, there's a list up here if anybody wants to see them.
Alright, water and sanitation department, Todd.
Water was going pretty good. I had to take another sample up today because I had a bad back key sample. That happens about twice a year when the tank flips. So it's not an uncommon thing, but it does happen. And so I had to take another sample up today, got that taken care of.
Okay, good.
And I got the screen from Nicole. I'll get up there within the next week or so and have that all repaired, get the pictures so we can get that to the state. And that should correct all of our deficiencies.
So no deficiencies after that.
No deficiencies after that.
Just remember to take a picture.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I did send them the other two pictures because, in the memo that we replied to them, we had a deadline, as a date set, and so I sent them the other two pictures and said, hey, this is what we have, we just got the screen, we had to order it online,
Yeah.
and so they were good with it.
And I got the quarterly report there, and I've got extra copies, so I can make sure that quarterly report's done on time every month and everything like that. I'm sorry about that, I totally forgot about the quarterly report coming back into this and stuff, so.
Alright,
I don't-
happens. Things happen. Okay, water loss, so we have about a 25,000 gallon, difference between what we sold and what the pump meter read. And so Todd's on the lookout.
Yeah, I've been looking.
So we're at about 10% this month for water loss.
Isn't that about normal for most cities, about
Yeah.
10%?
10 to 18 is.
Yeah,
is
it's
average.
kind of an average,
Yeah.
who knows where it went, but it went.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Is that,
So it's up a little.
we're not taking into consideration how much went out of the hydrant to the railroad by chance? Or have you already accounted for that?
I think that was in that month prior,
That
because
was
that's
last
when that
month,
happened.
when that happened, yeah.
October, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, in September.
But we don't know if they've come by and taken any more water out.
I don't know, I don't know.
But that'd be a large amount, 20,000 is how much we're,
That'd be way more than they take, that's for sure.
24,000.
okay.
And I did try to make contact with the railroad, and we did the hit and miss thing, and then I've tried to call him back with no response, so. But I did try to make contact with them. Alright, anything else?
I do have those 2 meters I need to get changed, I will get them done within this month as well, so.
Alright,
Oh, just on meters, Todd, just a question. Now, my meter, do I need that post and all that out in my yard?
Yes,
yeah.
All right, okay, I just be curious.
we gotta have that remote head thing on
All
that
right,
post.
okay, now and I can do it, or you can do it, or we can both do it. Let's straighten it back up and make it look like somebody lives there.
Yes, okay.
We made,
Yeah, I
so,
mean, yeah, and it's not a big deal, but, you know, the pipe that brings the remote up to the surface, whatever.
Yeah.
Take it and anchor it back to the post that's there, a couple of wire ties, and like I said, I can do it, or, whatever, but just, you know, just it's an appearance issue.
Yeah, I will get it taken care of.
Okay.
Todd, when you're ready to put the caps on, I'll help.
Okay. Yeah, cause we gotta disconnect the old, down below, we gotta disconnect it, pull it all out, because we gotta put that meter remote inside that
Okay.
cap, and then repeat it all the way, the wire all the way back down, cause they don't have a slot where you can just slip it in.
Well, you can train me.
Yeah,
Alright. Okay, the other 2 things are still on the list, and then you haven't heard about the flow meter yet, have you? I
No.
can reach out to Jordan.
Nope.
I'll
I haven't.
touch base with Jordan.
I have not heard a word from Jordan yet about that.
But it's on order.
That's what
That's
we
what he
know
said.
last.
All right, okay.
And he got a 4-inch, and we need a 3-inch. So he's gonna send the 4-inch back, get the 3-inch. He told me as soon as they get it, they contact me, set up time, go up there, and get it changed. So, but I haven't heard nothing yet.
Well, thanks for everything,
Yep.
appreciate it. Alright, Steve, you're up, road and streets. We're done mowing, we should be done mowing now.
Yeah, tomorrow is supposed to be really nice, so we're gonna clean the mower up, I'm gonna sharpen the blades, and then we're gonna put it away.
Good,
So, then, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the pile that was up by Lori's, the dirt pile, is now down by Glenn's. And that took 38 loads to get that down there. In the process, I had to use the backhoe to dig every bit of that loose. It was set up just like concrete. And there were chunks the size of the back of these chairs. And in the process, it broke the sideboards out of the truck. So whether we wanna get them replaced, it's not an emergency that we do that. But, I found out these short little runs in town, I always wondered why there was a gallon of antifreeze on the floorboard of the truck. Well, I found out it heats up and then it quits. And I think it's because we're not getting out, running that through the radiator enough to really keep that cooled down. So anyway, I ended up putting 3 gallons, there was 3 other gallons in the shop. I put the one that was in the truck in it. I got it to the house, I put 2 more gallons of water in it. When I got back to the shop, I ended up putting 2 more gallons of antifreeze in it. And that brought it up to level. We do have 1 gallon left in the shop. Wouldn't hurt to get, they actually had 4 gallons on hand.
Where's it leaking?
I don't know where it wasn't boiling out. And I haven't
Is it a
seen
heater
a,
core,
I
a
haven't
hose? I mean, it's gotta be going somewhere.
yeah, I know, but
Yeah, buying antifreeze, which you're gonna have to do anyway, is just, covering up the problem. What's the problem? Solve the problem, we don't have to buy a ton of antifreeze.
well,
So, it would
I
make
don't-
sense to
there's
find
no
out.
hose.
You and I, Steve, or you and I and Todd, and Glenn, or whoever, we need to go find the source of the leak.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, that was very low. Now, how long it's been that way, I do not know. There's no spots in the shop where it's leaking out.
There's no
Setting-
spots in the
setting-
shop, and there's no spots in the cab. It's gone somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, I mean, I think we need to get some more eyes on that and figure out where it's leaking.
That wouldn't hurt. I looked at it,
Yeah,
I did not
I
see
understand.
anything.
But, I mean, yeah, just keep pouring antifreeze in it is not a solution.
right.
And it also has 1 headlight out. And backing into these piles down here, going in tight to get all of what I could in there. I ripped the mud flaps off, I did find one of them, the other one is in the pile down there. And I don't know whether it's a state law or not, but I think it's illegal to run down the highway without rear mud flaps on
All
them.
right, that's a fact.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so might need a pair of mud flaps.
That's not, I don't have a problem with mud flaps. With a headlight, I don't have a problem with that. I wanna be safe.
over this year,
And,
so got something for him.
The plow, Todd and I put it on one day down here, we could not get it to work, the hydraulics part of it. I checked the plug-ins, we had 2 of them at the park, and the only problems we ever had with them at the park were plug-ins. These seem to be plugged in good, but the cylinder will not pick it up, you can't turn it.
Now, does the pump run? Does everything other than the cylinder work?
The cylinder won't work, that's what I'm saying.
But does the pump that runs the cylinder, does it run?
Yes. You could hear it pump, you could hear it running, but it wasn't moving it.
All right.
So I don't know if it's low on fluid or where you put the fluid in on that or what it is, but
Don't we have an operator's manual on this thing?
I don't know
I
where
don't
it's
know
at.
where we'd at.
That was
Well,
my next
I would
thing.
think we probably get to need to get an operator's manual,
Yeah,
and those who are gonna operate it should read that manual
Yeah.
to start with.
yeah,
And then if we need oil in it, okay, put oil in it, if we need the cylinder fixed, we'll fix the cylinder.
yeah,
But we need the individuals gonna run it to know what the hell they're doing to begin with.
that's right, yep.
That's my
I
opinion.
never have ran it. I got that thing when I was on the board, I got it put on the truck, bought it brand new. They put it on at their, time rental, they put it all onto the truck for us. I got it back to here, couple days later, we had a snow, Terry Dinas was in that thing plowing the roads. I've never ran the plow.
Oh, this is the plow in the truck, not,
truck.
It was on the.
alright, not, I was thinking that, okay.
Okay, now, and I haven't found any paperwork on it to do any troubleshooting. That was my next thing. So whether or not somebody else can help look and try to figure out what's
I
wrong.
can help, I mean, I can't do much with my hobbling around, but
Yeah,
I have a
but
lot of experience.
either that or wherever we had it put on, it might have to run back up there. Cause I do not know where to go from there. I didn't wanna start tearing things apart without having any kind of a book to look at.
Well, let's find an operator's manual to start with.
Yeah, like I said, it was purchased at time rental. Where we purchased that.
Find a manual on it, and then we get together. Now, there's enough people in this building right now to fix it, and we don't have to drive it back and forth to Rapid.
Yeah, cause you can't drive it with the plow on it, of course, you can't lift the plow up, so.
We could get the plow up to get it to Rapid if it could come to that, but.
But we don't, well, I'm sorry, Steve, but we don't need to do that.
No,
Right, we shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
Somewhere,
should be able to solve the problem here.
somewhere
If
there has to
if the
been,
pump is pumping and the blade don't lift, it's gotta be in the cylinder.
Yeah.
Now, we don't need to spend $1,000 to have a cylinder rebuilt either.
No,
somewhere there should be a book on it, but I have not come across it.
No, and I agree with Steve.
I know when I got it, brought it home, there was paperwork with it.
So I think we need to find that or get some more.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that does it for the truck. Now the loader, like I say, we went through 38 loads up there. The first day, I had trouble with the steering on it.
That loader you talking about?
On the loader, on the backhoe.
Oh, right, okay, right.
Okay. Christine picked up some more hydraulic fluid for me. I made some phone calls, found out where the reservoir was for the power steering, because I figured it had its own pump, which it does. And he kinda gave me a clue to where to look for it. I found it, and she picked up some more fluid, I filled it up, and it started working fine. I ended up putting 2 gallons back in the loader part. I think that was leaking from the front cylinder on the bucket, and it really gotta work out loading them trucks, or that truck with them 38 loads. Took about 7 to 8 buckets to load the truck, so 250 some bucket loads or whatever it was. That one cylinder is leaking pretty good. It's on the left or right hand side of the bucket. It's worse than any of the other cylinders at this point. But no more than we'll probably be using it this winter. I wouldn't be worried about it too much, but it's gonna need work on sometime or another. It's leaking worse now than it was when I started loading, I'll put it that way. And it's dripping, you can see it drip, drip, drip,
is it the cylinder or the hose?
the cylinder.
The cylinder.
Leaking out the rod end,
What's that?
leaking out the rod end.
Yeah. This is probably the casing around the shaft up in the cylinder, I don't know.
Well,
That's where it's
I would say we
leaking.
get a quote on what it costs to reseal that cylinder.
Jordan over here does small cylinders, he'd come right here and do it. He did that. The other cylinder on the loader that we had fixed. Was that June, I think it was, when he did that one? And he fixed it right here. So he's able to do it, it shouldn't have to be taken to Rapid. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to, but we'll have to wait on that.
Right. And that's really about it, is that one cylinder on the bucket. You really gotta work out doing, loading them trucks and taking it down, so.
Now I got another question. Why did we move that dirt?
Because I said so.
Alright, okay, that's fine.
It looked bad.
Well, what was happening, and sorry Ray for the sarcasm, but what was happening is that the weeds and everything were growing up in that, and it was becoming a permanent structure. And that was dirt that main line piled up there from the phase 1 construction. And I guess at the time, it was, mainline said that the board was gonna do something with it. Well, they got the scoops out of it they needed, and now it was just becoming
Alright, okay, that's fine.
a permanent hill. So it needed to be moved down, and it's good fill dirt. You can't use it for anything else. It's hard as a rock.
Well, that part I understand.
But anyone can have it. It's over at the,
Okay, the next go around on Walnut, are they gonna be dumping more up there?
no, so we can tell them to carry that dirt off. They do not have to leave it. If we need some of that dirt left for whatever reason, I say no, but, yeah, we can tell them.
We can get into this pile down here.
Yeah, I
if we
think
need it.
we got a lot of dirt.
We don't need it.
So, when
They'll
they
carry it
do
off.
dump it, are you gonna have them haul it down there or take it away?
I don't know where they're gonna do it, but they told us, because the residents on that part of town inquired about the dirt, and they said, hey, we were told to dump it here, we were gonna carry it off. And, a couple residents said, hey, we can use some of that for our driveways, and they took it to them. But, yeah, they were told to dump it there, but they'll carry it off if we want them to.
So whenever the next dig out comes along, let's come dig some of it, go pile it up, and they'll haul it away.
Yes.
Is that it?
That's all I have, I think.
Alright, good, alright, building maintenance, we have anything?
Nothing yet, no.
What you got?
Excuse me. Well, Fire and Ice or whatever the company is out of Shadron that come up and fixed the leak in the community center. Anyway, I'm gonna have them come up and fix my shop furnace. And while they're there fixing my shop furnace or whatever, I suggest that we have them at least look at the 2 furnaces in the community center
Okay,
and look at the furnace up here, if nothing else, just to, for a tune-up. If nothing more than that, if they need something more, then be it whatever. And on that same subject, you'll notice that there's no more propane smell in the community center. They found a leak and they fixed it. And so that was a good thing, and they did it on their way to Rapid for, he had a wrestling tournament, well, it is irrelevant material, but, we haven't received a bill yet, but, they come and they got it fixed, and I think that was excellent on their part, that we called them, and they were there that afternoon, maybe part of it was they was on their way to Rapid anyway, I mean, irrelevant material, but they come and fixed their issue. So I think to get the 3 furnaces, at least tuned up is not a bad idea.
Do we know how much they're gonna charge you, or we don't know?
And we don't know whether they charge us for the last service call.
No, not the last one, but to come
to
check
look
the
at
other
the
furnaces,
furnaces.
to look at the new ones, the ones now.
Right.
Do we know how much they're gonna charge, or we know? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know whether they're gonna charge me to fix mine either.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but the whole point being, they fixed it this time, and so they're wanting to expand their business, and they're gonna be in the area, so I'm sure they're all looking at there to save some mileage.
yeah, okay,
Anyway,
alright,
I think that's about everything I got.
okay. Animal control, so I got a call from Margaret before the meeting. And, she's received through the grapevine some complaints about a tethered dog in the town. And so I informed her that there's a lot of gray area to approach a home that has a tethered dog, because South Dakota doesn't have a tethered, meaning leashed, a tethered dog law. And because it's private property, it's really not for the town to say whether you can leash your dog or not. Our ordinance states that we don't want dogs running around town, so this seems like a solution to the dog running around town, but other citizens don't see it that way. So I informed the citizen that was complaining to me about it that we do not have an enforcer here. We have someone who facilitates with dog nuisances, and that if they felt like the dog was in danger or it was being mistreated, they should call the sheriff's office and let them handle that, because that's completely outside of any ordinance or even state law where we can go and enforce that. And so, with that said, I did read the dog ordinance for the town, and it's probably a good idea for the town to relook at that ordinance and make some improvements to that. So I'm just reporting the complaint about the leash dog. My personal opinions, it's not my business if someone wants to tether their dog in their own backyard, and I'm not going to go and tell that neighbor to do something different, because that's their solution for the dog not to run town, so.
Or to get out of their fence, because some dogs do have a tendency to either jump or dig, and
Again, it's still, there's a lot of gray area there, that's not for me,
Exactly.
and
I
I've
mean,
informed Margaret.
what
it's-
constitutes a dog over barking or under barking or
yeah.
whatever, I mean, there's Steve, I'm just gonna use you as an example. Steve thinks my dog is barking way too much, I don't see a problem with it, so is it, an issue there between me and Steve, or me and Glenn, or whoever, you know, I mean, yeah, dogs are gonna bark a little bit, I mean, that's normal, but what is excessive? I can't answer that question, and who really can, so it's, like you said, Christine, I mean, it's kind of one of them gray areas, that, is it excessive, or is it in the middle of the afternoon, is it at midnight, I mean, there's a lot of things that enter into it, what time does Sadie bark, Glenn?
Oh, God, if somebody walks by in the street and she's outside, she'll bark,
Well, see, and then
You know,
that.
but she's doing her job. And that's when I walk by someone else's house and their dog goes nuts and Sadie's just,
You know, so that,
Your
there's
dogs are
there's
doing
such
their job
such
at that
a
point.
gray area there, that I don't know whether, you know, you can make all the ordinances and all the rules you want, they don't know how to read.
The complaint is that the dog is tethered and being neglected, is the complaint. No one's complaining about the barking, so,
And there
Again,
again,
for
that's
me,
another opinion.
it's-
What's your opinion of being neglected and my opinion of being neglected can be completely
different.
different.
So I informed Margaret that the board did not provide her the training to be an enforcer, and that she is a facilitator for our dog nuisance ordinance, or our dog animal control ordinance, and that, that is a gray area and could create some liability for the town and for her, so we don't need to go and approach this issue because somebody's sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, in my opinion. So, I know I said that out loud, but that's kind of how I've received a complaint from 3 different people in the past week or so. Some of them were very passionate complaints, so
But we have nothing to address it.
I have nothing to address. I did let all 3 of them know, all 3 parties know that the board would be informed, and that the discussion would evolve around, this is not within our area of jurisdiction, and we're not going to tell someone not to leash their dog when our ordinance specifically says your dog can't run around town,
That's right.
so.
Yeah, it seems like you're contradicting what we're telling you.
Yes, but, so anyway, yeah. Okay, community center committee, any upcoming events?
Yes, we're gonna have a Thanksgiving dinner on
Right.
Thanksgiving Day
Oh,
at 1 o'clock, serving the traditional Thanksgiving dinner, turkey, ham, all the hoorahs and hoorahs and hoorahs.
What time?
1 o'clock,
Is it donation, is it how to
donation.
donate?
What else you got?
You know, of course, we're, you know, continuing our breakfast and all that, the windows are all in and installed. Now we're working on replacing the 2 side doors. When we get money enough to buy the 2 side doors, we'll get them and put them in. And, then I guess our next project, we get that done, I guess the next project is to address the upstairs balcony, whatever we wanna call it, and get whether a new floor, whatever we need up there. Nobody has really looked into that, but we know there's some water damage up there and that, so there's new floor, new whatever. And then the next big question is, what do we do with it?
Ray, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What do we do with what, the upstairs?
The upstairs,
Oh, okay.
yes, sir.
So the 2 doors that you need for the building, do you have the 2 doors already figured out what kind of doors you're gonna get?
No, we have not even got that far yet.
I'd like to know what kind of doors you're looking for and what they cost and what they need.
The only quote that I got was from the, Pella window guy, and for the 2 doors, plus installation was like $12,000
$12,000 for the doors and the installation?
Yes,
What kind of doors are they?
I don't remember now, Travis. I mean, I thought it was outrageous, but,
Well,
Yeah,
gold
sounds
plated,
obvious. Yeah,
it's $6,000 a door.
well, that's what I kinda thought, but.
That's why I'm trying to figure out what I mean, cause if you're getting just a solid steel door from Menards, I mean, I got some Menards points, I could donate some of those.
Yeah,
and
Well,
then-
you know,
what
I
I'm
mean,
kinda-
that, I mean, but that I can't really answer, Travis, because I never looked any further than the price, and I said, well, we're not spending that kind of money.
Okay, good, well, when you
That's-
figure out what kind of doors where you're getting them from, let me know.
Okay, we can do that, but anyway, that's where our donation money, oh, I meant to bring that, and I didn't.
Okay.
But anyway, then the other thing that we have, and all that, we bought a plaque, and those that
Very nice.
donated the window, their name is listed on this plaque. And then there's a thank you to everybody else that, donated, come to the breakfast, whatever. And that plaque is going to be put there by the counter, by the kitchen.
Gotcha.
And basically, it thanks everybody for everything they did.
Thanks for coming and eating breakfast.
Basically, yes, sir.
So no breakfast this month, Turkey Day, right?
Turkey Day.
Okay.
And then next month, we have decided that we're not going to do a breakfast for December because everybody's got other things that they spend money on or da-da-da, whatever, so we won't have a breakfast,
Okay.
in December. And we'll start again in January.
Okay.
All right, park,
Oh,
what else?
Not just one other thing. Building maintenance. What are we gonna do out here when it snows, if it ever does? Now, this is post office boxes out here. Now, is it our responsibility to clean up around the snow from their boxes, or is it their responsibility?
Well, did the town enter into an agreement
Not
for
as
the
far
post
as I
office
know.
to put those there?
No, not as far as I know. I can't
The
answer that.
post office asked for permission to put the boxes in that location. And I gave them permission.
But does that mean that we have to clean the snow out for them, or is it their
Again,
responsibility?
nobody said anything about that, I
Good
never
question.
even thought about it.
You know, I mean, that's, you know, that whether, and Todd, is it your responsibility since you're building maintenance, or is it their responsibility, or do they have to pay us to pay Todd to do that? I mean, that's,
So what would require snow removal, because typically the snow kind of blows off around here, we don't get a lot of accumulation.
well, yeah, but typical in what can happen, is 2 different things. So if we get a foot of snow, and there's a foot of snow out here, who's liable for them post office boxes?
Here's what I'd say, we're not doing it for the post office, we're doing it for the post office customers.
Well,
We're doing it for the townsfolk to come up to use the boxes if we clear it out. if it's 8 foot, it's up to the post office to get to the boxes. We don't have to clear it for them.
Well, that's good.
That's the law. But we'd have to do it, or we
Yeah,
should do it.
Is, well, just the biggest question is the plan whenever you plow, do you plow the parking spots here around the building?
I
That's
was
the
gonna,
first question.
I was gonna swing in here and clear it where they'd be pulling up.
Because the only other thing that comes to mind is the post office, the boxes that are over here, you don't divot into there and plow out, and you don't grade the pull out for those either, so.
No, because they're private, just like mine.
So I can only see just clearing out parking spots, and that's all you do if
Now,
the
that was
mailboxes
up
are
to
backed
me,
up.
but this is a town building,
Yep.
and they're located there, and we should maintain it for our townsfolk.
So what's the
not for
solution,
post
Ray?
office.
What's the solution?
Well, my opinion, and all that, we, be Todd or whoever, you clean out around the boxes,
Okay,
and then we bill the US Postal Department for it.
It used to be at the post office down there, the town would come through with the plow and plow the parking areas, and the postal employee would shovel off and salt the sidewalk.
Right,
work.
I
What
agree
they
with
used
that.
to always do, down there.
Cause they were here all the
has
time.
anybody, how about, has anyone talked to the postmaster over in Hot Springs to ask what the responsibilities are with those
I have,
boxes?
Yeah.
That's probably a good start right
With the
there.
post office, effectively, it would be their property, leased or owned, it's their property. This isn't their
You could
property.
have the person that hauls the mail that screws all the mail up in those boxes, bring their own shovel.
That's a good idea.
asking a lot, Steve.
Well, again, it's
So
up
the
to the
question
post
is,
office to be able to get to the boxes. It's
Might
not
wanna
our
start with the
responsibility.
postmaster over in Hot Springs, just find out if there's,
There you go.
if they already have a plan for that. But your solution is that the town would clear it.
No, I think the postal, well, the town would clear it, but we're going to bill the postal department for it.
And I would say we would clear the parking lots.
Oh, I agree with that.
And that's not billing.
We'd swing in there, but not up here close to the building where their boxes are. That is their responsibility to clean that up, in my opinion.
Yep, if they want us to do it, then it's a charge based on our,
And if they
Manpower.
don't like it, they can hurry up and get the other post office running again.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay,
So is
ran
this
over.
the- Sorry, is this the first winter with the post office?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to catch up.
It's a very sensitive subject.
Yes.
Isn't that right, citizens?
cause they were there forever and nobody could get mail from them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's do something fun, park committee.
Let's go park committee, get us off there.
We should have brought terranium supplies.
Yeah, that's fun. So, we got an estimate from Spirit Canyon Concrete,
Mhm.
to do the 2 concrete pads under the picnic tables and to do half a basketball court. And it comes to a total of $6,400
Okay.
to do both projects.
Did you say 6,200?
6,400.
6,400.
Yep. So we have roughly $3,500 in our budget to do it this year. We have to move fast if we wanna do it this year because December 16th, I believe, is, they're not gonna take, the concrete company's not doing anything after that date. And so, what I would propose is one of 2 things. I don't know if the town can divvy for the remaining amount, which would be another $3,000, roughly $2,900, I guess. So we could do the full project versus splitting it up. The other, I guess, would be hit the phone and start asking, people for donations. I know I would be willing to donate from my business, cause think a lot about the park, and I think that getting that concrete in the park, I think is gonna be kind of a game changer.
Well, that bid, is that for removal of the old and?
There is no concrete.
Oh.
Yep. So it's, the pads for the picnic tables would be 8 by 10 by 4. And it says 3,000 PSI concrete, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
With number 3 rebar reinforcing, compacted subgrade, broom finish with control joint and center to help prevent cracking.
Yeah, number 3 is 3/8 bar. Number 4 is your 1/2 inch rebar.
Okay. And then the basketball court is a 20 by 25 by 4 inch, 3,000 PSI concrete with number 3 rebar reinforcing. Same thing, compacted subgrade, broom finish with control joints cut every 10 feet to prevent cracking. And so he'd also talked about, he has it's this rock that glows in the dark. And so he would make the free throw line, put that in the concrete, which I think is super cool. In the pads for the picnic tables, he can put established and the year that the concrete's laid, which I think's cool. Maybe put some around the edges so that you can see the boundary at night. Cause someday we gotta decide if we wanna put a light over by the basketball court anyway, but I thought that was a neat idea to make it glow in the dark. So,
Alright, now let me ask you a question here, Kim. Alright, the basketball court, how much is that gonna be used?
well, I don't think we'd ever know until we actually build it. I can speak for when we first moved here and my daughter was young, we would've used it.
Alright,
I was always kinda bummed that we didn't have a basketball court here in town. Kids are always looking for concrete in town too.
And I know our house, when we bought, Campbell's house, they had a basketball court on the drive, and it's still there, we haven't
Yeah.
taken it down. But yeah, I mean, obviously somebody had interest in it, but they had a few kids over there too, so.
Yep. Yeah, it feels like that movie, The Field of Dreams, build it and they will come.
Yep.
I feel like it's like that with the whole park.
Yeah.
As we keep adding things and doing things, people use it. If they see it, oh, let's go there. And I've done that driving through town,
And I know
different towns.
my two girls have started coming whenever they go walking around, they'll go and hang out and play at the park now, so, because there's things to do over there, so I do know that.
Yeah, the only way you're gonna see growth in a community is through youth, and then with that youth, they need places to recreate,
Mhm.
so,
We were talking too, I would like to eventually get a little, you know how in Hot Springs you see garbage cans, garbage receptacles, they're nice throughout Main Street. Eventually I'd like to add one to the park between those two pavilions. It would look nice and then it's obvious where you put your garbage.
yeah, it seems like people like to put garbage in the garden.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, use it when we walk town, when we take a walk, there's a little garden in front of the park and people like to put their trash in there.
Oh.
So we just pick it up, that's when you see the trash can down the park, which by the way, for the winter, I put the trash can in the fire hall from the park, cause
Yeah, makes sense.
it'll just be
The
blown around by
dumpster,
the
yeah.
wind, we'll be chasing it, so,
Uh-huh.
and it'd be broken, so I did do that.
It used to be tied to that tree or post or something there.
Yeah, but I put it up for the winter. Alright,
So I don't know what you wanna do about that. We could do at least part of it this year if we don't have any other funding. There's something about, he mentioned this. Do you remember, Glenn, what he said if you don't, cause if we do both projects, you're gonna use a whole load of concrete versus if we
Right,
don't.
it would cost more to do, did he give you a
Yeah.
separate price for?
He did, but they're the same, it's the same as what he gave for the whole job.
Okay.
But but I know he said that it would be more
Alright,
expensive.
what he's saying is $3,200 for the 2 picnic tables.
Mhm.
Alright, that's 8 by 10, that's 160 square feet, and $3,200 for the basketball court, which is 20 by 25.
That's 500.
That's a lot more square footage.
So he just cut, he didn't.
You know, that's 500 square foot versus 160 for the same price. He's giving you,
Mhm.
Because he's probably adding the trip charge on the first one
Oh, yeah.
and not on the second, because he's just,
right,
Well, it is cheaper to
or
sell
something, but
than two.
a substantial savings is what it is to do both of them
Mhm.
now rather than one at a time.
I think what,
Because the basketball court would be a lot more expensive just for him to come in and do that, if not.
so I'm
Yeah, the
inclined to
picnics.
support the park. I need to review the revenues and expenditures to see where the rest of the budget sits. I am also willing to donate, to the park as well, to bring the town's costs down. So,
Right, and it's
And then we have a
$6,400 is the total for
Yeah.
all of it, which makes sense to try to
so he needs a
do.
response by
all of
December
it.
16th.
Before then,
Before then.
because we gotta get it booked. I would say this month, we need to know
Yeah,
something in
yeah.
in a couple weeks would be best.
How come he said
We
they
need to do that.
wouldn't haul it otherwise?
This cement pipe
It was
coming
something with
down.
the concrete company,
When it gets on certain temperature, they quit mixing.
that's
Yeah.
it, that was
Looks
it,
like
they were
there's some-
kinda predicting
some
that's
wiggle
when
room
it
in
would be
some
too cold.
places.
Right.
I've
After
poured
that.
concrete in November before,
No,
Like in the-
December.
Yeah, I don't know.
Government
It
buildings.
all depends on what the weather is.
Yeah, but you're not the guy mixing it at the plant. It depends at the plant, the mess that they make there.
November and
What
December.
plant are they
This
getting it
doesn't
from?
show.
There's
So
another
then we have
part.
November and
Said
December
March.
modules to hit
No,
too.
okay.
I've worked all days
Yeah.
through winter before, so.
so we,
Yeah.
Well,
we're
they
pretty
do
tight.
their own mixing, so
We
yeah, that
could
would be,
be,
Yeah, that's their cutoff date.
okay.
That mud.
Building
Yeah.
material might be different.
Well, why don't they do just like we did for the windows? Start making a fundraiser to get the monies to do it. I mean, so if it goes in next spring, so be it. I mean, all you gotta do is get some people together to make a fundraiser and get it done.
Cause we need to get October done this week for sure and get it.
okay,
But then we'd have to have a separate meeting to approve.
Right.
any of
we
that.
would have to have a separate meeting.
The only way to do that is to know exactly where we're at in our budget though.
Mhm.
Yeah, October, everything came out, so
So
I
anyway.
think.
Cause we didn't have, this budget that was created did not have any, for 2025, didn't have any, contingency fund in it.
Yes, we do
Yes.
have
In
contingency.
2025?
Yeah, I thought it was putting.
Yeah, we passed a resolution,
Yes.
in July, June or July, let's see.
Oh, when we moved the money from,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's right, we did.
Hold on, we have contingency.
Sorry.
And we have 2 months left to obligate this year.
We have
Yeah, the
4,000.
contingency is on your flip your page, right
4,448.
there. So yeah, we do have contingency.
So if we did a combination, I can reach out to some people to see if they would wanna donate and the town may have some. Maybe,
I would
Okay.
feel way more comfortable if we had some more donations, because
yeah. I
one
have
department
some-
we already know is a little over budget. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's any others that are, but, and we still have winter.
Yeah,
We do have contingency though, so,
okay,
And how much did you say you think you need?
3,000,
If we're willing to at least consider some of this, I think she can at least
Yeah.
get it booked,
yep,
make some phone calls, see if we can't get some donations.
and then get it,
But I'm gonna
and then
form it and
we still
everything.
have a meeting
Go
before
through,
the
yeah.
18th
To finalize how
to
much we
finalize
that's what I was saying, as it would be to
So
finalize.
get it booked,
Okay,
and then, cause we have December 8th as the next meeting.
Okay.
So we have time at the next meeting to know exactly how much money we're gonna have, and then potentially what the donations might be.
okay,
And then finalize it, that way we'll be booked before the 16th.
sounds good. Yeah, I reached out to Marge McCauley as one, cause I know she loves Buffalo Gap, has her heartstrings here, so she was gonna check with some other people in the Custer area, so.
Okay,
And if you do get some donations in, obviously talk to finance officer Christine to make sure that we have it before that, agenda and everything, so we know
Okay.
what we're bringing in, cause we have to do a resolution for
yeah,
monies in too.
Okay.
yeah, and we could do it that meeting, yeah.
Okay.
So how's that feel for you?
That feels good, cause, yeah, it's just like a juggling act, because we have ideas for next year's budget,
Yeah,
yeah, and if this is pretty substantial, getting that concrete in, so.
But it also shows for that grant that we're actually putting money into it as well. If we're
Yeah, I
gonna
don't
get our
know,
grant.
yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Well, I'm just
But
saying.
yeah, that's right, yeah, yeah,
alright, let's do that.
okay.
Alright, any other questions? That's it.
No, I'm excited for the new water.
We're
I'll
gonna
get
bring
that
spring.
bed planted again, and, yeah,
Alright, Board of Trustees, mail call complaints issues to address that. Talked about the leash dog. Something that's been brought to my attention, was, the Horse Conservancy, we'll just say Windcross Conservancy, concerns about the, what's the male horse called? It
A
just-
stallion?
Stud.
Yeah, the stud being close to, you know, the road and access to the public. I explained to them that, hey, again, that's private property, we don't have ordinances for those animals, that is easement there, so I'm just bringing it to, I told him I'd bring it to the board. I have no plans to do anything with it at this time, so.
What was their concern?
That, because studs can be unhinged at times, because of the testosterone, they can do unexpected things.
Has that stud gotten out?
So, no,
Hmm.
but is.
I've
their
seen other
concern-
horses running around
Yeah.
town, was those studs?
No, yes, one of them was, yeah,
Okay. But not that stud?
not that one, not those, no, but the concern was that, hey, somebody didn't know, they would walk up to the fence, well,
That's on some,
it's
I
on
was gonna
somebody,
say.
and that's not for me to write an ordinance about,
Yep.
so,
it's
So
like
that
if
was
Lynn went out to his
Somebody
fence
go
and
by
llama spit at him.
It was a resident, it's been a few residents, they've had a lot to say lately, so I'm just doing my part to bring it to the board, okay?
The fit, not if it got out.
Yeah, alright, so, we don't have any meeting events scheduled or any planned events. I won't be here for Turkey Day, I'm going to visit my daughter, so,
We may or may not be.
okay.
That's a good point.
Let's see, and then, Travis, you had mentioned to me about an open house event, having like an open house for the public. So I threw
Well,
this
I
on here,
slept.
just to, okay.
Oh, no,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
discussion point,
You're
since
right.
you had that.
An open
I'll
house,
let you-
you know, for the public to come, and I say open house, but, you know, maybe that's not the right term.
Mhm.
But just to invite the public to come and visit with us about what we want this town to look like. I mean, we're working on the park, we're working on the community center, we're contemplating what we're gonna do with the, old town hall. So the question would be, you know, it would be great to get public input on what they would like to see happen in this town. Do we wanna see it grow into a metropolis? I'm just kidding, I don't wanna have a metropolis, there's a reason why we moved
That
into this
wouldn't
town.
happen anywhere near our lifetime.
Well, I don't know, somebody wanted to put a
I heard we were
Walmart in.
in Walmart.
Yeah, there was a rumor, there's a Walmart coming up here, I don't know if y'all heard
Rumor.
it
Yeah.
yet. I started laughing, cause I'm like, Walmart's,
yes.
anyway, point being is, not necessarily to to squash the rumor of Walmart, because we're not getting one out here, but to see what the town is thinking, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna invest a little bit in the town, and do the community center and do the park, maybe there's other things that we're missing, i.e. maybe we could put in.
I don't know what the
the
Ray's
RD
mentioned,
camp
but
places.
as far as the community center, I've already offered to redo the whole front of it. Not gonna happen this year, Ray. Things went weird on me, cause I told him I could start in August, and then he comes to me in September, and it's like, well, my stuff starts going screwy then, but this next spring, yeah, I'll start stripping the front of that building, get a whole porch redone, the upstairs, and then we'll look at what it's gonna take to do the rest of it.
So if we put it in the news bulletin with our bill, what do you think, I mean, is that something you think the town is interested in knowing, kinda like, hey,
Well-
we have some input on.
Well, you never know until you do it.
Exactly, and I certainly wouldn't turn down any help, so come next spring when we're ready to start, yeah, there's something to put in the bulletin that says, okay, on this date, we'll set it down, so here's the date, come out and help if you want, if nobody shows up, I'd just do it.
What if
Well, it's not to do anything, it's to have a conversation about what does this town feel
Well,
like we
that
need to
too,
navigate.
that too, now, I mean, you know, as far as repair on the community center and all the siding, it's no big deal.
Right.
You know, we can get that fixed, we can get it painted properly so that it doesn't rot like it did. My house isn't rotten, you know, so, we can get it done properly, inside and out. You know, I look at the inside and I go, you know, they never caulked a thing. You're letting all that air through the walls by not caulking all that tongue and groove in there before you paint it. So, yeah, let's get it all done right. Now, as far as, yeah, what color do we want it? Sure, let's do that. Do we want it gray? Should it be red? Should it?
Well, I think that's a
Those
little
are
bit different.
opinions too.
Yeah, I
Right,
think that's a
but
little bit different, that's
As
gonna-
far as taking care of it, that's just gonna happen.
Right.
We
I
don't
think
need to ask the people on that one, but
No, that's not what I was getting at, I was getting at for the town, how do we wanna see the town look? Does the town wanna stay
Well,
one
and
hundred
that's
percent
part of it.
nothing?
the community
You
center
gotta start
certainly is
somewhere.
part of it,
Yep.
a big part of it. That's what you see when you come in. Now, again, should it be red? I don't know. You know, yellow would be a terrible color, but gray, is that the right color for it? Who knows? So there's something to talk about.
I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea to see what
Bring-
they want. I really do.
Early spring.
When, yeah,
Ask what they want, and then
What
we
you
can
got,
also
Kim?
put in the
Well, I was
letter
thinking
about
in
fixing it.
addition to that, maybe, you know, you open it up to just talk personally about ideas for the town, but also maybe find out who in town's willing to volunteer for different things. I think they kinda go together, you know?
Oh, like volunteered their time to help
Yeah,
out with things.
yeah,
that's
cause
really
I
good.
know, I've done that in the past, different things I would be willing to volunteer my time for.
I think that's a March meeting then.
yeah,
My turn to speak.
bring it, Ray.
Throw the grenade. I'm just kidding.
I'm done. We've had breakfast for almost a year and a half, and I'll bet there hasn't been half the people in this town showed up for a breakfast.
Right.
And so that's the end of my grenade.
Okay.
Oh, I realize that. Hey, if nobody shows up to help, I didn't expect it to start with.
Yeah.
If they do, great.
But if you put it out there and then people complain, well, why did y'all decide to tear down? And I'm not saying that we're doing that, but if we
Oh.
decide to tear down the town hall building, you say, wait, we had some conversation to figure out what to do, and then when we put the public notice out, then people aren't going, well, wait a minute, why was I unaware, and how did this come
Right.
about? Well,
And you're very right there, Travis.
we're putting the
Give them an
information out,
option and-
yeah,
Yeah.
so just trying to figure out what this town
Yep.
wants,
Let
desires, and
everybody know,
needs.
ask their opinion, sure. You need to talk to the people, you can't sit here and ignore them, you know?
March is probably a good time. People shut in on the winter around here.
Yeah.
They close doors. Okay, alright, anything else for the board of trustees? Alright, good. Alright, old business, so item 15, open for Cedar and Poplar, I think we're still in the pipeline for that.
Yep.
Update and organize all town ordinances. Okay, resolution 81 and 94 talks about mobile homes in the town. At this point, we have several other priorities to take care of, and at this point, and based on some history that I found in meeting minute notes, there have been, residents, they came to the board and they got approval to put their mobile home in regardless of age. And I think we just stay on what's been set as a precedence and not go down trying to update these resolutions to become some type of zoning or permitting ordinance on how we tell people what they can and can't do with their own private lots. So, at this time, I'm willing to say this is off the table. We have some precedents set on how to handle this matter already, and then that's how we'll handle that.
I agree with that.
Cause the more permitting and zoning we incorporate in here, the more money it costs.
Yep.
Nobody
Well,
wants to
and
do
I
that.
think Travis, the last meeting or meeting before, whatever, maybe you said too, Christine, is there any one of us in this building right now qualified to decide whether somebody's mobile home is good or bad? I mean, I don't know anything about motor homes or mobile homes. And how many other people in this room are qualified to say your wiring is great, or this is wrong, or that's wrong, other than your own opinion and where it's parked at, or whatever, so I think just leave it alone.
That's right, okay, good, it's done. Alright, water construction phase 2 is still ongoing, as we know, we got, two more reimbursements one from Helms. So they are in the engineering phase of that, so we have been getting invoices for that already.
And we have a reimbursement that's scheduled to come in the next week.
Yeah.
For the first one.
Yeah, and then they've been submitted to DANR for reimbursement from the bond money. Okay, the water outage communication plan, that will be ready to review next month. In addition, the town probably wants to set up a contingency plan meeting, meaning that, okay, so Black Hills Energy went through this with wildfires. They said if there's wildfires, we're gonna shut down these certain areas, right, for these, if there's a wildfire here, they'll shut down this area. So then, what is a contingency plan that Buffalo Gap has to support the citizens in the event of that shutdown? Or, in the event that the well pump goes out, what's our contingency plan to make sure our residents have water? Now, we know we could switch to Fall River, but we need to set up some type of, like a tabletop discussion to go over those contingency plans so that, our elderly residents or residents that will need assistance in those times, we make sure that we take care of those, so.
The thing that would bother me about that would be how long it's out, for one thing.
Yeah,
I mean, replacing meat in freezers and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
we
who's
get it.
gonna cover that?
Well, the thing is that, well, I don't think Black Hills Energy's covering that, right?
No.
So, and I don't think the town's covering that, and that's why we need to have some type of contingency plan meeting, have that tabletop exercise to understand what the needs are of our citizens, and then put something in place so that we know how to best take care of our citizens in those
What
times.
is the reason of shutting it off, just the main power line? They're worried about that burning
This
up
isn't
or
just
what?
about Black Hills Energy, but yeah, with regards to their wildfires, because I went to quite a few of those meetings, their concern is preserving the infrastructure. So, like there was a wildfire, has it been 2 years now, out near Angostoria or south of Hot Springs in that area, there was a wildfire. And so the surrounding communities, until the wildfire was under control, they shut their electricity down because as much as they can preserve that infrastructure, the cheaper it is and faster it is to rebuild, right? So then you're gonna preserve what you can. So that's kind of that was their idea with that whole setup, but I'm just talking about from Buffalo Gap's perspective, how are we supporting residents? Let's say if there is a wildfire, that does affect us for water too. And two, if our well pump was to go out, then how do we make sure that our services aren't interrupted, or if they are is it temporary? So those are just some topics to talk about in that. I mean, we could even be talking about, natural disaster too, so is it that we, set up a place where folks can come if we have a tornado or something, whatever, so, yeah, but anyway, December, I'll have something to review for that, and then a follow-on will be to begin doing some contingency planning. Alright, Wind Cost Conservancy lease, we did receive a response back from, Miss Rhoda. How do you say her name, Todd? Lucia?
Lucia?
Lucia.
Lucia.
Okay. And, I added a few things into the lease. One was for them to add a proper fence so that the town has access to the well pump house at all times without having to interact with the livestock. And then the two was, weed and pest management in accordance with the South Dakota law. So if the leased property, has, weeds or pests such as prairie dogs or whatever, then they will have to mitigate that. And then the other one was to raise the cost of the lease from $100 for 5 years to $500 per 5 years. And next month, there will be a public hearing, for public input on that lease. And then from there, it will go to the attorney for review to put in place, alright? Okay, so let me just ask a quick question in case, about the ordinances. So I have a resolution and then one ordinance that is 8 pages long for the utility ordinance. So I can read the heading, pause and give the public time to digest the ordinance if they choose. I can read the entire ordinance. That will take me a while. So, I'm going to read the heading and know that the ordinance is here. It has been posted at the community center board. Last month it was posted for a whole month, and then I posted the new update this just past Friday, so there has been ample time to review that. But if anyone wants a copy of this, I can send it to them by email if they want a personal copy. So ordinance 2025-XX, which will be numbered once it goes into effect, is an ordinance entitled Administer Water and Sanitation Services in the Town of Buffalo Gap. Be it ordained by the Board and Trustees of the Town of Buffalo Gap, County of Custer, South Dakota. And so, basically what this ordinance does different from the ones that are in place right now is that it tells you how to apply for water services. It tells you how to request new or additional water meter pits. It clarifies the responsibilities for maintenance and repair of the water connections. And it also provides guidelines for temporary service disconnections, and then guidelines for sanitation, so trash cans. What it doesn't do is talk about surcharges or bonds or anything like that, because that is separate from maintaining the water distribution system. We have resolutions for that, so that's what this ordinance does. So it makes the past two ordinances, it makes it more readable, and it's more succinct. Then, the next one that we have is the resolution for publication of water rates. It is 1 page. I will, read this in its entirety. So resolution 2025-07, we need to get a vote on the first reading of the ordinance.
Did you
That's right.
read it by title, or I
I
heard you.
read the title,
Okay.
yes.
I heard you talking about everything.
I read the title, then I gave a quick overview of the ordinance itself.
I move to approve the first
I'll
reading.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Again, if anyone needs the ordinance, I'm more than happy to share that with them. Alright, resolution 2025-07, publication of water rates. Whereas the Board of Trustees for the Town of Buffalo Gap, County of Custer, South Dakota resolves to provide a listing of deposits and fees for the Town of Buffalo Gap water service connection in accordance with ordinance 2025-XX for the period commencing January 1st, 2026. Whereas an ordinance ordinance to administer water and sanitation services in the town of Buffalo Gap requires the Board of Trustees to review water rates annually. And whereas Resolution 2019-01, resolution of the town of Buffalo Gap to adjust water rates is hereby repealed. And whereas water system deposits and fees detailed herein shall be as follows: a security deposit $100, new service connection fee $25, new meter pit fee and connection fee is the actual cost of labor, supplies, materials, and equipment. Disconnect fee $25, monthly maintenance fee $30, standby fee $15, minimum monthly water use fee $9 up to 3,000 gallons per pit. Additional monthly water use fee is $3 per 1,000 gallons per pit. Late fee is $15, return check fee is $40, sanitation fee is $22 per trash can. Now therefore be it resolved that these deposits and fees are hereby approved this third day of November 2025.
Question. Current standby fee is?
A standby fee is when you want to leave your property for more than 30 days and you'd like the town to shut that off.
Do we have that currently?
We do have that current, we call it a sleep vacate rate,
And what's that rate?
and that rate is the
Correct.
minimum monthly water users fee, which is $25 plus the $5 meter fee, which is $30.
And if we're moving this, it's going to 15.
And so we went with a cheaper rate for a standby fee because after reviewing several ordinances from across different towns, Hot Springs, Custer, their standby sleep rates are $5.
Does this cover what we're required to charge for the loan?
Yes, so they would still pay any sanitation fees, any surcharges, any of that. So they would still pay all of those associated fees, all the other fees that go on your water bill is what they would happen. So
But
they don't,
there's no surcharge in here.
because
that's
that
right.
has a resolution by itself.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay, so they just pay the 15, they pay the 22, plus whatever the surcharge is.
That's right,
Okay.
surcharges, January
Surcharges.
1st, yes.
Okay.
What would somebody have to pay if their, water is turned off due to not paying their bill?
So that's something that the ordinance leaves up to interpretation.
Okay.
And so if someone receives a disconnect notice, their late fee is $15 per month, and then they have the disconnect notice. Given that person is already probably in a financial position, they're struggling to pay their bills, I'm willing to waive that the disconnect fee if they come to the board or ask for the finance officer to bring to the board for that disconnect fee to be waived. So that's the other thing that the ordinance does, is it no longer mandates the disconnect and reconnect fees, cause that's $50 every time. But it does leave it to the interpretation that,
Basically, you got one chance.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that, yeah.
I mean, that's fair. If it's a problem, you need the help. If it's a problem, but it's not a problem, well, you don't get a second chance.
Yeah, I tend not to want to get into those personal issues myself,
Right.
because that's just me, so
But that's
If they
kind of
can-
what we're saying, is we'll
they
help
pay
you
their
out
water bill.
until you prove you're not worth helping out.
Yes, and then there's other things in place, let's say someone falls so far behind, the town can put a lien on their property.
Yeah.
Because, there's economic hardship and then there's negligence, so you can
Right.
monitor that situation by situation. It's written that way.
I make a motion to accept resolution 2025-07.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Alright.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Alright, new business, liquor license.
Okay, so we do have the new liquor license, they are, we have package off-sale liquor and retail liquor for the last chance. I have all the paperwork here ready to send in. And this is a renewal, and then I did just receive, before I came to the meeting tonight, the retail on-sale liquor license for the watering hole, package off-sale liquor license for the water hole, and the retail on-sale liquor license for the hole in the wall. They are ready to, they are due December 1st, and all fees have been paid.
Okay. So, water hole, 109 Main Street.
Yes.
The chair entertains a motion for that. So let me start over. Chair entertains a motion for the water hole 109 Main Street, one package off-sale liquor on retail, on-sale liquor license renewal.
Second. All right, make the motion. So moved.
All right.
Goodness gracious.
Right.
Got it, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Hole in the wall, 110 North Second Avenue, one retail on-sale liquor license renewal.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Alright, Last Chance Saloon, 102 Main Street, one package off-sale liquor, one retail on-sale liquor license
So-
renewal.
I'll second.
Alright, good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Alright. And that is all you needed on the
That
list?
is all I needed on this, correct?
Alright, public time. This is a time for citizens to discuss issues or concerns for the town of Buffalo Gap directly to the Board of Trustees. The amount of time for discussion or presentations can be limited by the president of the board. Individuals shall refrain from discussing personalities. No action will be taken by the Board of Trustees without first being placed on a future agenda. Anyone have anything for public time? Yeah.
So I had put something on Facebook about this, but, in light of the government shutdown, SNAP benefits are questionable for this month, and so, the storehouse in Custer, they're making SNAP bags, and so it's an additional, food, output, and so for anyone who has a SNAP card, they can come on November 10th at 5:30 here. I had put my phone number out too, because if we could get kind of an idea of how many, that would be helpful. So I know Christine, we can put something at the community
Yep.
center, but just kind of spread the word, cause it's kind of last minute, but just get that information out. I don't personally know who has SNAP cards in town,
That's
so.
on the 10th?
Yeah, usually the money loads on their cards on November 10th, so we thought if we did something on that day, it's not gonna replace it, but it's something. And then we'll have, in addition to that, we'll still have our monthly food pantry on the 15th.
So, because by the time the meeting minutes get published in the paper, I won't put that in that public comment, cause the day will have passed already. I'll put it in the meeting minutes I post on the bulletin board,
Okay.
but just in the paper, cause that'll just kinda
Yeah.
be OBE by then.
And it would cost more money, cause you pay by the word for the paper.
Thank you. Alright. So get the word out. Anyone else? Okay, next is we'll have an executive session on personnel.
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion to go into executive session per SDCL 1-25-2, pursuant to SDCL 1-25-2-1.
I'll second that emotion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So at this time, we'll ask the public to step out, during this executive session on the discussion of personnel, and then when the session's over, you're welcome to rejoin us. I don't have any further discussion. Ready to have anything?
Nope.
So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn?
I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting. meeting.
Okay, I'll second
Make
your
a
motion then.
You were making the motion, or were you
I
saying?
I motioned to adjourn.
Oh, thanks. Alright, I'll second the motion. All in favor, let's adjourn the meeting. The
Alright.
next meeting's December 8th. Because the Monday is, the next, first Monday is following Thanksgiving, and if anyone's traveling, and then Thanksgiving is the posting date for the
Okay, I need
agenda
to write that
packet. So
down.
we'll do it December 8th, and then we don't
December
have to
8th.
mess with the holiday. Is that-
Well, I can make it work. I'm the boss.
Alright.
Because December 8th starts our ultrasound training.
Oh.
But I'm the boss. I can tell them, deal with it.